But I mean, like, the reason, I mean, even in the sense too, like, I always feel like I should just keep recording. You know what I mean? And like, just trust that whoever is the one post producing knows what to cut out.
Yeah,
stuff
right.
Like that.
I mean, you never know.
Because like I said, like I regretted not coming here and vlogging when I first came in, because that would have been good in terms of like an episode.
That was nuts, right? Like, fuck, we can talk forever.
Just in general, like
crazy.
I think I'm just like ashamed to like I'm not used to like
yeah,
I don't want to be in people's faces
yeah.
like why are like someone comes like why are you recording or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just don't feel right.
Me too.
It's weird.
You know, and to me it feels like I'm somebody. I'm a Yelper. You know, like
I mean, not even that sense too. Like I don't even feel like I'm somebody. It's kind of just like I just learned that my fan base started like wanting to view more stuff. You know, like more content.
So that's funny.
That's my only mentality about it. Like I'm showing them me thrift shopping. Like what does that have to do with my brand? Right? Yes. What does that have to do with me selling stickers?
Yeah.
But and the more episodes I put out of stuff like that, you know, people would just in general be like, "Oh, I like that video game talk about," like, you know, and it just leads back into things.
And that's what I want to talk to you about, because I had this idea that I was telling Jimmy, we got to do more stuff with our story.
You should.
And I want to do more personal stuff, like what we do behind the scenes, what we do, you know, like outside. Because then people will get to know us. And then you popped in my mind, and I'm like, look what he's doing.
You have a bigger, see, here's my thing. You have a bigger advantage than I do because I don't technically do anything. You know what I mean? Like at least you got stuff going around in the shop and all that, right?
Yeah.
But like me, like I got to show them like what I do in my hobby, because like, in my actual Crab and Kids thing, it's just me and like in front of the computer. It's kind of boring. Like, you know, I don't get, that's why I'm doing the vlog like kind of like now. It's like, at least I got something to kind of show them per week, because I do hunt every week, like or every Wednesday. Yeah. But then we got the trip coming up, so I got content for that, right? But like, you know what I mean? So like, I just forced myself to start doing it just so I can learn YouTube and learn like what you got to do in terms like that, and then just just have more content, because I lost certain projects and stuff like that. So just to adapt with it, right? But I think there's so much benefits in doing it. You know what I mean? And especially since coming up to with Instagram, the way they kind of do things now, they're gonna take away likes, right? So it's like now you have more freedom to just post something and be like, no one's gonna see if I get 2 likes. You know what I mean? No one's gonna see it anymore, so just post it. Like, and I was already having that mentality. I was already doing that. You know what I mean? Like just recently, on the flip side of like, I'm on TikTok, right? TikTok, I do really well there because I just post clips of me pulling something out of the machine and just showing what I get, right? Yeah. So I just do little clips like that, and those do really well, like over like 10K view and all of that, whatever. But then I was like, okay, I know this video does good, but I kind of just want to flip it and see if I can like put a video of me doing the thrift shopping thing out there, right? And I was kind of scared at first because like the crowd is younger, they're not gonna like, they don't care for that kind of stuff, whatever. So I just put up a clip, and it was the one where I showed the Game Boy that I got and stuff like that. And I put it up. It did bad. It was like less than 500 views, like really bad, like tanked, right? And I'm like, like I know it sucked, but I'm glad I posted it because at least I know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like at least I know it doesn't work. Yeah. And if I didn't post it, then I would have just
never know.
I would just keep thinking, right? Like, oh, is it gonna work? Is it work? Like, so for me, like the game is just like just post something and like and like as much as you think that something like that is devastating, like it's gonna affect you, it's gonna hurt you. Like you put a video that only gets 200 likes, like, oh, now everyone's gonna shit on me and everything like that. Like that doesn't matter because like immediately when I put that video up, like like 2 comments, 3 comments here, but everybody went on their way afterwards. I posted the next video and that video did like 10K right after, like, and then just no one cares. Like that's why my thing is funny. Like we're so afraid to post things. In terms of like, oh, I don't want people to see that I only got like 2 likes or no one says anything at all. But I'm like, but how will you know what they will like if you don't decide to post different things? You know what I mean? So you'll never find the thing that they actually will like unless you decide to post different things. So so that's what I'm just trying to do. Just figure it out.
It's funny because you say, oh, you only had 200 likes, 300 likes or whatever. Like, I don't even know how to gauge likes. The likes, so if I get 160 something likes, I'm like, wow, 160 something people saw my stuff.
They like, right.
Because in my mind, I'm really just an ordinary person. I'm not somebody special.
And what one is better than 0?
My stuff. Right, exactly, right?
Right.
Like, 2 people saw my stuff. That's cool. That's 2 more people than if I didn't do it. Right. And it's cool because, what, you're going to judge me because only 2 people saw it? And then I found out that you can go look at your story and see who that next story, who
all the insights
and all this stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I don't give a crap about this stuff.
You shouldn't.
I just want to be me and show people who I am, because I just want to show people, like, I'm nothing special. I really am not.
Right.
Nowadays, we have YouTube, we have all these resources online to do whatever, and we talked about this, do whatever the hell you want.
Right.
And what's limiting you is just your motivation, your will to want to do it, right?
Yeah,
I mean, if you just set your mind to, like, yeah, I want to do this, even if you didn't make a 1-year goal, a 5-year goal, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you just start it and you find out you like it and it works,
yeah,
it was better than you not even trying anything, right?
I think so.
So, like, let's say, like, you're not even a fisherman and you think, like, oh, it looks like fun or whatever, and you start fishing, you start doing well at it. It's like, wow, it works. I can eat, right?
Right.
You wouldn't have known if you didn't try.
Yeah, and then if it doesn't work, then like, okay, maybe I got to be a hunter or something.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
You switch it
Or
up.
like,
You
okay, it
change
didn't
up.
work. That's cool. I mean, it's not
Something
like
else.
it's not like it's devastating. I didn't
Right.
get killed from it. You know, people don't hate me because I did it.
I think
Let
so.
me just go back to doing what I used to do behind the keyboard or whatever, right?
Or whatever, or just pivot, do something else.
So, I mean, that's actually the basis of the Akiraminai, the don't give up part. It's like, just do something and stick with it as long as you can. Because you never know. Like, maybe you reach the point, like the burger thing, right?
Yeah,
You reached that point where it was so close, and then you gave up on it.
gave up on it.
Or you changed it. But had you gone just a little bit further, it might have just...
There was that analogy I think I remember hearing about, like, where it's scary, like, in terms of giving up, because, like, what if the next day it was gonna happen, and like, let's say like you ended up passing away or something, and then you know how you go up in heaven or whatever, like that. And then like maybe there's that thing where they just show you your life, right? Then it's like it's like, oh, you know, if you waited a week later, it would have happened.
Yeah.
But you just decided to give it up or something like that. Like that's kind of the stuff that scares me, where it's like, man, if I just stop one day, like, what if, you know, or if I gave up, right? Because it's like hard or something now, right? Like, or something like that. Like a time's tough or something that you're like, I should just give up. Like, what if it was next week? Like, something happened, right? Like, that's the part that scares me, and kind of like it half motivates me too, because it's like, I don't know, just keep going at it till something happens, right? I mean, like, you could be like, it's wishful thinking too, but at the same time, you're like, I don't know, you know? Yeah. Maybe something might happen if you just keep grinding at it.
If you like doing it, then it's not killing you, right?
Right.
If you don't see it as work or like something you have to do, then why not? If you have the free time to do it, then why not? Like, if you like,
I think just giving up too comes in terms of like with that, when you say like, if you have the free time, right? Because like a lot of it comes with like pressure in terms of like social pressure. I think like for me too, like one thing that's been happening with me recently is that like I recently turned 30 in October, right? So it's like, you know, there's that weird social pressure of like, you're technically in the, I don't know if they call it the halfway space or whatever like that, you know, it's like the 30, right? The 30 thing. But I'm like, I don't necessarily care about that, but like, you know, there's that weird like, oh, like, you know, what are you doing kind of thing, like stuff like that. So like, and sometimes it slips in my mind, it's like, you know, like my brother's a year older than me, like he's situated in terms of like he's married and all of that, whatever. And it's like, do I decide that I should be living like that too, in a sense? Or is that like no, it's not, like, you know what I mean? Like, or is that what's supposed to be normal, right? And stuff. But I'm over here like, you know, I want to do my thing kind of thing, right? And if I'm stuck doing this for like how long, then like as long as I'm enjoying it and having fun, then that's all that should matter, right? Like,
exactly, right? Like we talked about, you live in your own world. You plant your own trees, you rearrange your garden however you want. But it's when you let people tell you that that's the wrong flower, that's the wrong color of your house.
It's tough, though.
That it very much
a lot of people,
right?
They get to their heads of like.
So you talked about age. Does it really matter how old you are? Because
I feel like not, but
right. A lot of people do.
Good too.
At my peak, okay, so I did bodybuilding, right? Or men's physique. At the peak of my strength, I was 37. I was benching about 345. Occasionally, I could push a 360, but I'd have to be in the zone and whatever. But 345 pounds on a bench press at 37, which was the peak.
Yeah.
Okay, so did my age matter? Did I even think like I'm 37? Like maybe I shouldn't do it, or I can't do it because I'm 37. No, it doesn't matter to me. So a lot of people like. It's funny. I sat with this old lady yesterday. I don't know if you saw the post about me helping her with her iPad.
Oh no, I saw that. Yeah,
okay, so she keeps telling me
and that was actually a good post too. Like if you noticed how it did, I remember like we were talking about like doing more personal stuff versus just showing product, right?
That I was afraid, and that I want to ask you about that too.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to try to make like
I know.
Look at me. Look what I did. I did this for this lady. You know, like I don't think
people
that.
viewed it. I mean, I didn't view it that way. I can see what you're coming from. Like you didn't want to glorify that you helped somebody.
Right. Like like the whole pay it forward thing I was telling you about. You pay it forward, and then they pay it forward, and then they write all about it, like, "Oh, I paid it forward today." And
I don't think that one came off like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because it's like the way it all came down to the way you worded it, and I think that's what made that post. And I looked at your other post compared to that post too.
Yeah,
and I kind of feel like that post did really well versus the other stuff where you just tell people like what's going on, right? And reason being is I think people resonate with the story that you put up there, you know, and the way you worded it, right? And because the way you worded it is the way you talk.
Yeah,
I think it came off of the way of being genuine.
Yeah,
and I can understand where you're coming from, though. You don't want to glorify yourself.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, I helped somebody, so I'll decide to post it, kind of thing.
But then again,
I feel like you just want to tell your story of like,
yeah,
you know, like in this day and age, like people still need help in terms of like getting their password and all that kind of stuff. And I like that you did a full backstory of like, you know, you used to work at Apple like that too.
Oh, okay. And, well, that's good to know. Wow.
But I feel like I said, those that we talked about this, like those are the posts I think you should do, like, you know. And like I remember you put up another post too of or I think it was a story of like your what is it, karate or whatever?
Oh, the origin.
That,
I was afraid of that one too.
I mean, I don't know. I think that was a story. I don't know how that went well with people. Did people talk to you, like DM me back about it or stuff like that?
Kinda, like people are like I mean, just emoji wise, right? Not like, oh, that's so awesome or whatever.
Or
but
not something like, oh, like I used to do that too.
Yeah, not direct responses, but like, you know, like after our podcast, I didn't know that much people listened to it. Yeah. But I did have people come in and like,
I'm still sad about that.
Oh man, I know. They're like, oh my god, that was like one of the best.
We'll redo it again when we start the new one. We're gonna have more inspirational stuff just like this.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'll make it better, and we'll make it more streamlined. And
you know, because
it's gonna be exciting. I think. You know what's funny too is like, even though it's gonna be a different take of like the previous podcast, because I feel like this one's gonna be more of like us talking about this kind of stuff, right? And there's times where I'm just sitting there, right, and I'm like, there's a topic like I want to talk about, and then like I write it down. And I'm like, okay, we need to talk about this. And that's the way I kind of want to base the series.
Yeah.
So, like, let's say, like, episode whatever, I'll come up to you and be like, hey, what do you think about, like, luck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because my opinion on luck is, like, there is no such thing as luck. You built, right? We went into this on the episode, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I want, like, the episodes to kind of be. Like, we'll talk about a general thing, and it'll be like, you know,
we'll give our views.
Right. And I feel like we'll talk about it forever.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
No, really.
So there was that came out. Like, luck was a topic I was thinking about. And there was another good one. I'll think of it later, but like stuff like that. That's the so if you're thinking about like how the general basis is gonna be, that's how I kind of want to do it. So I'll bring up like something like, hey, and it's more of a mindset topic. Like, you know, like what do you think about luck? What do you think? Oh, that was the one. This has been bugging me forever. What do you think about when someone tells you you try too hard?
You try too hard. Okay, like in what sense?
I know it has to be contextual in a sense.
Okay, so I can understand you try too hard trying to impress this girl.
Well, people, it's kind of like that, where people look down in a sense of like you could say that too, like you're trying to impress somebody, or it doesn't necessarily have to be a girl or something like that. Let's say like when people label you as a tryhard, right? Like that. Like I don't like that saying in terms of like you try too hard. Or you're a try hard. But like if I don't try hard, then it's like, you know, or if I don't give it all my all, then how would I show the person that was my 100%?
Yeah.
So is it like I'm gonna give it 50% to everybody now because like I don't wanna be like, oh, I'm trying too hard.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the thing I feel like a lot of people get stuck into is that when they get hurt by someone saying like, oh, you try too hard, immediately they're like, oh, so I shouldn't give it my all now anymore?
Yeah.
I should just only give 25% now. because if I do give it my all, it won't get recognized.
So
but we can talk about that.
This,
you know what I'm saying?
This is something
like that's what I'm saying. Like topics like that, we'll do an episode per.
That's a really interesting question because that's actually something that I've been thinking about lately. And
damn, we're going straight into the episode. Right?
I even told right?
Let's go, right?
I told my wife one night I was sleeping and I got up in the middle of the night and I told her we won the game. And she's like, "What do you mean? What the hell are you talking about? We won the game? Like, are you dreaming?" And I said, "No, we won the game of life." And she's like, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, we won the game of life because I understand how it works now. I understand how to win at life." And she's like, "Okay, what is it?"
You're talking about like the mentality of winning.
Yes.
Right.
So she was like, are you trying to manifest stuff or are you getting like psychic or spiritual on me? And I said, no. Life is about perspective. So somebody can call you cute and you can take offense to it. Oh, so you mean that I look like a little puppy? Like you think my face looks like a dog? Right. Like a cute dog? Or you can be like, oh my God, thank you so much.
That's true.
There's two different ways to look at things. Or there's many different ways. But if you can look at it in the best way. Remember we talked about trying to find the bright spots in every single situation because you can always find the darkness if you look for it, right? Mm-hmm. So you're a tryhard. Somebody tell me that? Fuck, yes, I am.
I am.
I try my hardest at anything I do. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. And what are they going to say?
Right.
You try too hard. Yes, I do. I'm not lazy. I'm not a lazy ass. I don't half-ass anything because I try hard. I try my hardest at no matter what it is because I want to give myself that shot.
I get it now. I figured it out. Basically, that's the right mindset to take, right? Mm-hmm. In terms of that. I guess what upsets us, and let's say, like, for me, example, I would say, like, when you say that, I guess the reason why I would get offended in terms of, like, being labeled as a tryhard is because the output or the outcome didn't go in my favor.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I would be upset about it.
But
and
then
I don't want to be, the excuse is I'm being labeled as a tryhard.
Yeah. But then it comes down to who are you trying to impress?
Right. No, I see. And then the fact that you didn't impress them is the reason why you'd be upset. And it's because like, well, I don't want to be labeled as a tryhard.
Yeah.
Because like I don't want them to label me as a tryhard.
Right. You know, so we had that whole conversation about TikTok and how people are like, you shouldn't do that. You know, you're gonna fail or whatever, and you try it. If you ever come to me and tell me you tried something and it failed and you tried very hard at it, I tell you, I know that's you. If somebody else told you, oh, you're a tryhard, you try too hard, whose opinion matters more? So what you do is you look for people like me.
Right.
You dismiss the people. Like I know you said that you should ignore the good and you should ignore the bad. I
think the only opinion that does matter is yourself too.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. But how do you form an opinion about yourself? Through the opinion of others. How do you know you're good looking? You don't. Because here's the thing. Psychology wise, everybody thinks they're good looking. And if you don't, if you don't, you suffer from depression. Did you know that?
I know that. I'm aware of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, why do you not think you're good looking? Because somebody out there thinks that you do. So does it matter that everybody else says you're not good looking?
I think the reason why is because, like I said, the reason why we feel that way is because we want a certain person or some like we want the one that we wanted to be the one, but because it's not, that's why we get depressed and stuff like that.
That is true.
It turns out that way.
You know, and
because like when you say it, there is somebody out there that does, right? But if we didn't find them, or we don't necessarily, feel the same way in a sense, because we only wanted what we kind of wanted, and if it's not the other way around, that's what makes us depressed. You know what I'm saying? So it's the opinion of that, because there's so much good in there is the good, right? Like they do like you, but if you decide in your own mindset like, but I don't want that though. I wanted this. If you can't get it, then that's what's gonna make you depressed, right? So I understand that.
Right. So it's all about your mindset and how you look at things. So like there were two things I'm gonna say about that. One of them was, let's just say you have a Yelper who only gives 4 stars, no matter how great. I mean, it could be the best service, the best food, the best whatever, but they gave you 4 stars and they didn't leave a comment. Would that devastate you? Would that, like, oh my God, like I was getting 5 stars, I had 5 stars, now I don't.
You get the one.
Or do the opinions of the people who gave you 5 stars and the reason why they gave you the 5 stars, does that matter more to you? Or
even though. No, usually when I would record, I would turn on the do not disturb part. But this is just a practice.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean,
plus I gotta leave soon. So.
Okay.
But yeah.
So the 4-star person, legitimately as an employee or a worker or a business owner, there's no way you could have helped that person in the time they wanted to do it or wanted to get help, right? Like you saw my story, I was like 3 to 4 groups of.
No, I know, and then that's why I
and
kind of backed off. I'm like, okay, let them do it.
Yeah. You know, right? And that's the understanding, but some people don't understand that because they want to be helped now. So let's just say that 4-star was a doc because you helped this person who came in first, and then you acknowledged me, but you didn't help me in the 3 minutes that I wanted you to.
I wanted to help
because you spent time connecting with this customer in front of me, and then when they left, you gave me great service.
Right. Okay, so I'm so caught up in that I wanted to help at that time.
Right. So I can take it as, oh my God, that's so devastating. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut everything short because I don't want anybody to feel that way. So does that matter? Because I can make it matter.
Right.
Or I can just say, the lady who was sitting here, she told me that if you have the customer service that you do, if you treat the people that come in here the way you do, you're always going to do well. Even if your product was mediocre, you would do well because you genuinely make people feel like you know them. Like you have this connection with everybody. Like we've been sitting here watching you work with people, and everybody that comes in, like we can't tell if you know them or not.
Yeah.
So they said, you are the selling point of your company. And it's just an added bonus and the huge icing on the cake that your stuff is really good.
Right.
And I was like, wow. So does that opinion matter? And which one do I lean towards? Because when I tell you, if you look for the dark, you're going to find it.
Right.
But make the smallest bright spot the biggest spot ever. So if you can block this out like that, I don't care. You're just...
But at the same time, too, I feel like that's good. That's a good thing to take on too, stuff like that. But I think the whole concept of like you don't want to listen to both comes with in terms of like you also don't want to keep feeding what you know works kind of thing, you know, because you'll not innovate in that sense. Because like the term came like in like they're like, oh, if Ford or whatever or something like whoever decided to make the car decided like, oh, if like horses was always going to be a thing, they would never think to make the car because they'll be like, I'll just make the fastest horse, right? You know what I'm saying? Because they know what works, right? So it's like when you get terms of like good opinions, like, oh, your beef jerky is really good, like your beef jerky is like this, right? It's always beef jerky. If you don't allow yourself and you get caught up in the good stuff too, you'll never decide to make gummy bears. You'll never decide to make the drinks and stuff like that, because if you let it feed into your addiction of being only known for or just getting the compliments of certain things or about what I mean, like the things that you want to hear, then you'll never innovate. That's what
I see what you're saying, but I think it really depends on the person.
Right.
Because I've never gotten compliments about my beef sticks. I've never gotten compliments about my pork rinds, and I've never gotten compliments about my gummy bears before this.
But I think let's say a good example too is also, let's say, customer service, right? And you're gonna take that as like you took it as like that's good, right? But like that could mess up your own mindset too if you don't start just listening to yourself in general, because like what happens if the store is full of 20 people whatever, or 100 people? Now that comes into your mentality of like, okay, I know that, that was my compliment.
Yeah.
Do I have to talk to all 100 people or something like that? And am I going to get scared of myself if I didn't talk to somebody? Like I miss them? I'm not gonna beat myself up about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the good can go bad in that sense in your own mind because you're like, oh, that was my thing, customer service.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
but you gotta just play it in your own way.
Yeah.
That's just who you are.
Yeah. So I see what you're saying.
Right.
But
you don't want to put that on yourself.
You're talking about somebody who's very black and white.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But that's the other secret is you can't be black and white. You have to use common sense. You have to use your experiences. Right? 100 people in my store, I'm going to try to ask for help. If I don't have help, I'm still going to be nice, but they got to understand, and I have to understand that I cannot be spending this much time with you. But if the store clears out and you're still here, let's talk story. But hey, how's it going?
But that's what I'm saying, because you understand that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's what I mean. You know, you gotta
understand it yourself.
Right. It's not like it. Okay, a good example would be like
someone will be beating themselves if they'd be like, oh yeah, this one person told me, or several people tell me customer service is our thing. Then when I get to the point where I can't reach everybody, I feel devastated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
But
you don't want to always put that in your head that you always gotta cater to what the positive was.
Yeah.
You need to do.
I think that's another key to being successful. Let's just say you wanted to go into fishing, and then you buy all these fishing books, but the fishing books are about fishing in the mainland because there's no fishing books in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So you become a master at fishing through a book.
Yeah.
And you know every knot, you know every bait, whatever, but the fish in the mainland aren't the fish here.
Different, yeah.
So are you a failure because you studied so much and then you did it and it didn't work and whatever, and you try so hard and it never worked? Or do you try to figure out why? Why didn't it work? Oh, our fish are different. Let me go see what these fish like to eat. Let me go throw stuff in the... Oh, you like bread? Okay, here, let me use bread. Oh, you like this? Let me use this. Oh, it's this deep. Okay, that means that there might be this kind of fish. You know, it's totally different. It's not to say that the stuff that you were researching about from the mainland fish didn't pertain to this because you're not still the same, whatever. But you use your common sense.
Yeah.
You use your drive to want to be good at what you're doing as a guideline. So the people on the main, or you know, people around you can say, "Oh my God, you're so knowledgeable about fishing. You're so this, you're so that." Yeah, the black and white person would be like, "Okay, good, I am.
Yeah,
but I can't catch fish. But I can tell you all about this.
All about it."
But the person who can bend will be like, "Well, I'm knowledgeable at this, but I don't have it down yet. But that's what I'm working on.
Right.
And I'm doing this. And then you know what? I'm catching fish, but I also want to try see if I can catch crabs."
Well, that's someone that's self-aware of who they are.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think, so I think in that sense, this conversation kind of jumped a bunch before. So if you go back to self-awareness, it's you live in your own world.
I think so.
It just goes back to that. You live in your own world. What makes you happy? What doesn't make you happy? If you could take everybody's opinions out of what it is, what truly makes you happy?
Yeah.
Because if people's opinion makes you happy, you gotta find another happiness. You have to. Because people's opinions about you will change. You could have a bad day and you could just say the wrong thing to your friend and your friendship is done. And you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know your situation, but I know you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So if you're making your whole world based upon what other people want, then you're not truly happy.
Because, I understand that.
Yeah, you know, that's, I think, where depression stems from.
Right.
Trying to please too many people and not really pleasing yourself based on what you want. You know? So, oh, you like pink. Okay, cool. Let me go and make this pink thing and this pink thing. Then somebody else says, that looks like lipstick. Like, what are you doing? Like, aren't you a man? Why are you doing pink? That is so dumb. And then, you know, you might get devastated. And then it's kind of like, oh, I lost who I am.
Yeah.
But if you just sit down and think about it, what do I like? Hey, maybe I like this blue and I like this darker blue. Let me do it. Then it makes sense into what you're saying about the black and white person.
Yeah.
You can kind of ignore this person, you can kind of ignore that person. But you can find people who gel with what you believe in. And that's the kind of people that you want to be around.
Yeah, I think so. You want to surround yourself with those kind of people.
Yeah. Hey, I like blue. That's an awesome color.
I think the thing is too, a lot of people focus on more of the negative versus like because I get it's easy to focus on the negative, right?
Yeah.
It's easy to be like, well, I can't find anyone else that likes blue. Like, but have you tried? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's like, let's say like you lose somebody or whatever, right? You lose a friend or something like that. And it's like, oh, but it's so hard to make friends. Like it's tough to make new ones. I don't want to just, I'm content with the ones I had. That's why I'm so caught up in trying to fix it.
Yeah.
Because I just, I had this dude for forever. Then it's like, I don't want to waste another 5 years trying to find a new friend.
Yeah.
It takes long. I don't want to do it. But you can though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's the issue. The mentality is like, sure, maybe you lost somebody here or there or whatever, or in general, let's say not even friends, let's say like a project or something, who's to say you can't just start a new one? But the mentality is that was so easy, it was so content that you're like, I want to do this new thing. I don't want to put in the effort to find someone new or find a different project to start.
That's funny you say that because
that's what it is though, the mentality.
Out of high school, I thought that about college. I'm like, I don't have time and I don't want to make new friends, like college, like, why? But I actually made some of the best friends that I've made because of that. But it's not like I'm going out and like, oh, can you be my friend? Oh, do you like this? It naturally, organically happens, right? Like through conversations or just you like being around somebody, right? It's like, man, you make me happy. Like, being around you makes me happy. I like being around you. Hey, what are you doing? Let's go hang out, whatever.
And then you just let it be in terms of like, hopefully they'll accept you, right? Then if they don't, then it's like, all right, like, like don't get so caught up in being like, I got to do everything because I really want to hang out with this person. I got to do everything I can, right? But if they don't, then it's like again, it goes back to like, but I don't want to try to find someone else again after this guy because this didn't work, whatever.
Yeah. But like
people want to put themselves out there. Like it's hard.
Yeah, but it's like, why are you trying so hard to really find somebody who you're trying to make fit into this puzzle? But it's just not.
I think that's just how humans or we are wired in general. Like we just kind of feel like we need something or someone there to maybe it's like not necessarily an acceptance thing or whatever, just like I don't know if it's like a tribal thing or
not
like
to feel alone.
Like, just not to feel alone because like I feel like if people could, they would, right? They would just like isolate themselves and just do their thing. But even that we know is not healthy, right? Like you shouldn't just do that either. You need to have some kind of connection, whether it be human connection or maybe even like online, right? You just like only have online connection, but you're still talking to something or someone, right? So you can't just straight up like isolate yourself. So I think it's just the way we're wired. It's like we just need something to kind of not really. I don't know if it's validating, more of like maybe I think it's in a sense of like safety. Maybe if you're gonna go back to like primal, like we just need to know we're safe, that someone knows that we exist.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because it gives us like a peace of mind that like at least someone knows I exist. Maybe not like, oh, if I pass away now and no one knows I exist, then like what was right? So maybe that's what it comes down to, like all the way like way in the primal. Like we just at least need to know someone knows that I exist. So like in my peace of mind, like if I pass away, like at least someone knew. Kind of thing, right? Something like that. I don't know.
It's really cool talking to you because I think since I grew up, I've always kind of been social. I just like people. I like making people happy. I like happy people, being around happy people. So I always had good friends, and I've never known the other side to be lonely or not have friends.
I see.
But I think the difference between, so let's just say there were two versions of myself. And one version was very to themselves, didn't have friends. And the other version was me, who has a lot of people that they know and whatever. Not to say I'm popular or anything, I don't think I am, but I just like talking to people and whatever. I could see how to change this person to become this person because I know this person and I know what it takes to be this person, and what it takes is being honest, being open, being happy with yourself, just having this message, having this core belief inside of you, no matter what it is, and believing it, not changing your story because you think that's what people want to hear.
Yeah.
If you do a podcast with me today and you do it again next year and the year after that, it's going to be the same podcast if we have the same questions.
Your beliefs, right?
My beliefs are there. Help people. Just be open, like you genuinely care about people.
Right.
Whereas this guy is like, but people hurt you. People are vicious, people are bad and they can actually drive you to want to kill yourself.
Right.
You could be that person, but then again, like we go back to it, mindset.
Yeah.
Right? I don't need that kind of stuff. It's okay. But you know what?
But I think too, like that, even like, you talking about that guy there, right? Versus like, I think the only reason why he feels that way is because he hasn't yet been there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. So that's why you got to jump in the water. You got to try it.
Yeah.
Like you talked about, you're a try-hard. Well, try hard at being different. Then if you feel like your life isn't that great, try hard at changing it then. Because you never know unless you tried it.
Right.
And then if you tried it didn't work, that's okay. But still, like, there's, like I said, there's always somebody for everybody out there.
Right.
I mean, you look at some people, you're like, holy moly, this guy is such an a-hole. Like, how is he with this girl?
Right.
But, this girl's an a-hole too, and they match. Okay. That's pretty nuts.
That makes sense.
Or let's say that there's somebody who's super, like, ugly or whatever,
right.
In society's perspective. And this person has a girlfriend. It happens. You go out and you look and you're like, wow, that person found somebody. That's pretty nuts.
Right.
Because there's somebody for everybody. It's just that I feel like some people try to be something they're not.
Yeah, I mean, and I get you too. It's more like you focus that you wanted this thing, but then like someone over here, top of their lungs, telling you, right? But then like you're just your mindset's not there yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You just need to get to a point where it comes to like, okay, I haven't seen that, or something like that. But
so the first step is really,
I think you just need to find out yourself.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then you find out what thoughts in your head makes you happy.
Right.
What thoughts in your head motivate you to get out of bed, to do something, to not just see life as this loop that you have to go through and you can't wait to die because damn, this sucks. You gotta force yourself to get out of that thinking. Somehow, everybody's different, and mine is helping people.
It's tough. Like, I feel like in terms of like, especially our generation at the low, I think it's weird how like depression has become like the forefront of our like thing,
right?
Like,
yeah, it's a social norm nowadays.
Almost,
right?
to the point where like people accept it, or like the people that post about it or make jokes about it, like they've accepted it, right? And it's a good and a bad thing, I mean, it's good that we're talking about stuff like that, right? But even stuff like that, like I feel like too, like easily someone would say like, the excuse is like, I just can't get out of bed too, like you tell me like it's so easy to go out and try something new, but like, man, just being stuck in that, and I could say too, like I was stuck at that kind of point in a certain part of my life too, right, where it's like you don't even want to leave the bed, right? So like, how do you even get out of that? Like what do you do? And like let's say like the easiest stuff would say like you get your friends to pull you out of it, they'll motivate you to get out of it, but like even that too, like what if you don't have people around you, right?
That do that,
it's hard, and that's tough, like
and that's true. That is totally true.
I even tell people too, like even in that situation, like the only way to get out of it is yourself. But like, what if yourself is the problem, right? And that's hard. Like,
so that's the other thing. It makes life easier if you just think, like we talked about, somebody is there that's gonna throw that rope down that well.
Right.
If you believe that, it's easier to live, because then you're gonna go through life thinking, maybe I haven't met the person yet, but that person's there. So let me just keep going, because when I find the person, my life is gonna make sense and my life is gonna be happy.
I like to think of it like you take it like one step at a time, one day at a time, because when people tell you to like, just get out of it, snap out of it, or whatever, like that's such a huge step. That's so hard to like even tell somebody to just like like, oh, just snap out of her, just like
Right,
you know, like just stay
right,
positive.
right.
Why you like that? Like no, like you don't understand. Like you know, like I think little things like here and there, if you make it like a point in your head, being like, all right, like maybe today I'll just go to the store and buy my favorite ice cream, you know, and that could be it, right? Like that's all you did that day because you're so like depressed or something, right?
Yeah.
But you made it a point that day, being like, all right, I'm gonna get out of my bed and you know go to the store and buy an ice cream or something that I like, that I enjoy. Who knows? That one day you decide to do that. You know, you stepped out and maybe the cashier smiled or said something, and then like not even necessarily talk to you, but like that gave you hope or something. You know, that changed, that little thing changed your mentality, and I think that's what people in that state need to kind of do. In a sense, is just like don't overthink the long, like you know, the big term of like I just need to get out of it.
Yeah.
Take it day by day. I think like you know like. Do little things here and there, like maybe today like I'll just step outside and see the sun, you know, something like that, and then if you got to go back in after, then go back in, but know that was an accomplishment. I think, you know, because it's hard sometimes when you get that sense.
It's really neat we're having this conversation because I was always thinking about this, and you know, I think my view of depression was when my dad passed away, and it's a little different depression, you know, like I mean, it's same but different, where I felt like nobody understood me. You know, like we talked about in the podcast, like nobody understood what I was going through, what I was feeling. I'm alone.
Right.
I actually broke up with my ex-girlfriend because I felt like she just didn't understand why I wanted to be alone, why I didn't want to, like we used to live together too.
Right.
And, you know, why I felt so distant. She didn't understand that. And in my head, it's like, see, you don't understand. I don't think we should be together now. And she agreed because we started doing this. And, you know, we broke up. But last night, I actually was thinking about this. So here's something that you can do, is that you can do one thing a day and see the reaction that you get. And it's really neat because it really ties into everything that we were talking about from the beginning. You try it out and see if it works, okay? So you thank somebody for, let's say, opening the door for you or doing something like, I don't know, just saying thank you or something. And you
that's
really...
a stretch. I would think more of like just smile at somebody.
Well, okay, okay.
You know what I mean?
Let's say
saying
that.
something to someone, that's a big stretch.
Yeah,
honestly.
you see, I don't like to do that because I don't want people to think like,
Well,
are you
I think-
flirting with me? Like,
Well, in
what?
general, like,
in Hawaii, it's
but
like that, you know.
I
like,
think for a lot of people that are
Yeah.
in that state, talking to someone is a huge step.
well,
Just saying something.
no, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Or
if it-
wave.
Yeah.
Wave would be easy.
Right, but you'll never know unless you try.
Right.
So try to talk, and if you still feel awkward about it, then take a step back and try maybe a wave. If that doesn't work, then step back, maybe a nod, maybe just
nod.
eye contact. You know, baby steps.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know,
right.
but
do what's
if you can
comfortable
handle,
for you at that
but if
sense,
you can
right?
handle, I mean, why wouldn't you say thank you to somebody who held the door for you? Why wouldn't you say thank you to the McDonald's worker who gave you your food?
Well, like I said, if it's tough and also like to be in that situation, you would have to, you know, like not be taught certain things and stuff like that too, right? So you wouldn't even know that's normal too.
Right. So that's why I think that I guess I have to teach people,
Right.
you know,
I mean-
that this is how it is. You know, like
Right.
when somebody lets you in their lane, you say thank you. If somebody
Right.
opens the door for you, you say thank you. I mean, it's kind of bad, but like we live in like a condo. And if I hold the door for somebody and they don't say anything, I actually yell
They call
and I
out.
tell them, "Hey, you're welcome." And then, you know, sometimes they look back, "Oh, thank you." And I say, "Oh, you know, I'm so sorry my daughter's here. I'm trying to teach her how to have good manners."
Yeah.
Which is kind of bad, but that is true.
No, but yeah.
I am trying to teach my daughter that this is the way.
But see, you had a
should
reason
be.
to, because you had to teach her.
Yeah, but even if my
Right.
daughter wasn't there, I still
You
do
still
it.
attempt. I mean, yeah.
Because I want to teach people
That's
that
good.
this is called manners.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody went out of their way to do something for you. They didn't have to hold
Right.
the door. They could have slammed it in your face. Would you be mad? Probably.
Right.
But if they did it, then it's like, oh yeah, you're supposed to do that. No, they're not supposed to. They're supposed to think about themselves, open that door, let it close, and you open that damn door yourself. Why are they going to stand there holding the door for you?
Right.
So, what does it hurt? Or why is it awkward if you say thank you? Because that's how it's supposed to be. Okay?
But what about the cynical person that will be like, I didn't ask you to hold the door for me, though?
See? Then that's the mindset that you have to get out of. That's the black and white thinking.
But that's just on
that cynical person doesn't exist. He doesn't have to exist. I mean, is what I'm trying to say.
I see.
Doesn't have to. You can make yourself that way. Well, you didn't have to. You didn't have to buy my food.
Yeah.
You didn't have to give me this. You didn't have to go and, open the car door for me.
Right.
But why would you want to think that way?
Yeah,
and that is why you're depressed. That is why you feel the way you do. But let's just say that you think to yourself like, hey, I didn't know, saying thank you was the polite thing to do or the right thing to do.
Right.
In my world, it is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay? So now that if you can just put that into your world, let's just say I gave you this treasure chest and you opened it up and it said gratitude. I'm going to take it, if this were a video game, I'm taking it, putting it in my world. Here's my treasure chest of gratitude. Now let me go and it changes my world. Now I'm going to be grateful. You held the door for me. I just took 5 seconds of your time when you could have, been farther away from me trying to get to your car or whatever, and all right, Chiefs, thank you. I'll go call you.
Yeah.
Okay. Shoot. Thank you so much.
Okay. See ya.
Yeah. So, I don't matter in your world. You don't know me. You held the door for me. So for that, thank you. Because what people don't realize is that we're all connected if you think of it that way. Right? We're all made of molecules and atoms and all of that stuff, and everything around you is that. So if we're all made up of that, that means we're all one. We come from one thing. If one atom is off, we wouldn't exist, right?
Yeah.
It would be something else, like H2O. If the H never existed, it's a totally different molecule. If one of the O's, it's a different. So if we're all the same, that means we are all one. If you can think that way, I think gratitude will come more into play, into your world. You will have that treasure chest of gratitude. So yeah, you took that time to open the door when you could have been somebody else who just slammed it in my face. Thank you.
Right.
Why is that awkward? Because it is the right thing to do, because now you have that in your world. Oh, my world says this is the treasure chest of gratitude, so thank you. You handed me my food. Thank you. And then you watch people's reaction to it. And if that makes you happy, then you do it.
Then you keep doing it. Right.
But you never know unless you try.
Exactly.
Right? Like you gave those people donuts. That is a great example. I'm glad that happened because I believe that changed your view on life. Right. Even if it were a little bit. Because you said you were hesitant on doing it. But you did it.
But I forced myself to do it.
Right. And the reaction you got, I could tell. You were happy. You were genuinely happy because you made somebody happy. Can you imagine how that feels? You go to some place that's closed. And you came from, let's say, Eva Beach. And this place is closed. You don't know where you might not have known where they came from.
Right.
And to you, being in your own world, I don't care about you. I'm here. I'm meeting with Davin. And we're going to talk story.
Right.
But you cared.
You know what the thing about that too, and I think about it, that situation, right? Where, basically, I think, what's funny too, as much as because it went well, right? I gave them the donuts, they enjoyed it, whatever, like that. The scary thing too is, I guess, for some people would be but what if they didn't like the donut?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right.
What if they'd be what if they were
oh, I don't know you.
I don't
what if
know
you licked all the donuts?
Yeah, it's wait, why are you giving me these donuts?
Yeah.
So the initial fear of reason why people don't want to do things like that is because of that.
Yeah.
They don't want, I guess that comes with rejection. That's rejection, right? I think in terms of you have to be okay with rejection to take leaps like that and do things like that. Do you feel like that comes with a sense of the reason why we're so kind of confident in certain ways? Do you think that? Do you have like ways of like, or you felt like you've been rejected in certain ways and that's why you're able to be more confident in what you're doing?
You know,
in terms of like your business and stuff too.
you know, I've been rejected a lot. And, you know, like we talked about it before where I just really want to help people. And when I extend things to people, they're like, no, wait, what's in it for you? That's a rejection. But I don't stop doing it because that one person who really appreciates it and realizes that I'm not in it for self-gain or my company gain or anything. I just genuinely want to help you. Like if I can get you attention for free because I'm already paying rent here, what's the sense of me paying rent by myself when I can help you and I can make you happy? I can make you feel like you're supported by me. To me, that's what I look for. That's the bright spot, right? I've had countless amounts of people like, well, you need me. That's why you want me in your store to do a pop-up. That kind of stuff, it's okay. I don't need you in my world. Okay, so you just bounced off my bubble you're not allowed in here anymore.
Right.
But people who are like, oh my God, are you serious? Like, thank you so much. Oh, perfect. Come into my world. Here you go. You go next to my chest of gratitude.
Right.
Right? Then that's what I look for. That's what I mean when I say look for the bright spots. Those dark spots, they're all over the place. You're going to get rejected countless amounts of time, but you have to realize that your reaction you got from the donuts outweighs the reaction you would get if somebody said, oh, I don't really know you. Because in your mind, you think that's what they're supposed to have said. And I'm okay with that. Because you don't know me, and I could have poisoned it.
Right.
But you took it. There was somebody that took it, and wow, that's amazing. That makes me feel great. And now you get to try what you came here for. Because of me.
I think that too, I guess that goes back to like how we talk about the holding the door and all of that. Is if you let little things like that happen, it gives you more trust in others when you didn't have that trust before, when you are in that certain situation, right? Because at that point when you're in a certain mode of depression, you don't trust anybody, kind of thing, right? So by doing a little, I don't know about if they're called like exercises or just things like that, little things here and there, then you'll begin to see like, you know, not everyone is like that, right? Like there is nice people out there that are willing to accept you and like that, right? So you wouldn't know, you know, in terms of like unless you do little things to let yourself get into a situation like that. Yeah.
So here's the thing I just thought of for people with severe depression. You're pretty much in this hole. Let's use that hole analogy.
Yeah.
You're in this hole. And the way you're going and the way you're thinking, you're already in this hole. So why not try to see what happens if you try and grab a rock and try to pull yourself? What does it hurt?
What does it hurt?
Because you're already in this hole. You can't go lower than this. You're already in a crappy place. You already feel like, when am I going to die? Then why not try it? Because what if you grab that rock and you pulled yourself up a couple feet and you're closer to getting out of there, right? You grab another one. Oh, that worked. Okay, I'm closer. Now I'm close. As opposed to like, that's not going to work. I don't want to do it.
Like if I grab that rock, it might break and I'll fall out. Like, why should I try that?
But you're already in the hole. You're not eating. You're going to die. You're in a crappy place. So why not? Like, what do you have to lose? Because really, what do you have to gain? And that will outweigh what you have to lose. What do I have to lose? I can't fall. I'm already in this damn hole. I'm not getting out. So. I'm not up there. So, you know what? Let me just try it.
Right.
Hey, thank you. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm so glad you appreciated that. You're welcome.
I think it's funny because like even having that, I think that's almost like an advantage sometimes too, having that like you got nothing to lose mentality. Because when you have that mentality, it's like, technically you have nothing to lose, so why not, right? Right. And it's tough though, like when people are like, but they feel like they have a lot to lose, you know?
Like what?
But they don't though sometimes.
Like really, if you,
because sometimes they're like, you know, they're like, oh, it comes back to like opinions and stuff like that. Like, oh, I got my credibility to lose, or I got reputation to lose, or I got, you know what I mean? But it's like, but do you really have that to lose?
Oh,
right?
really?
Sometimes.
Yeah, you know, then there you go. Like you're letting the wrong things into your bubble.
Exactly. I think so.
It's a force field, and you can control what comes into your bubble and what goes out of your bubble, you know, and some things work at the time and you can take it out if you want.
Right.
If you just think of it that way, and which is why I say, if you can get the right perspective on life, you win the game. Because if you can just, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
If you can just convince yourself that this is the way it is, your life is going to get easier, right?
Right.
Oh, I hate living with my parents. Like that conversation we had, you know, like, oh, I hate living with my parents and they're so naggy and whatever. But someone like me, I pay mortgage, right? And I have 2 kids. If I lived with my mom, I'd have a babysitter. I'd have very low rent and I'd save so much money. Man, I'd love to live with my mom.
All right.
You know?
You got to look at it. You know,
it depends how you look at it.
It depends how you look at it, right?
So let's just say that, yeah, you know, your parents want you to do chores, which is what you should be doing, right? Because, you know, mortgage is what, like $1,200 for like a 1-bedroom or whatever, and what are your parents charging you? Most people, nothing. So why?
So why do you feel entitled that you shouldn't be?
Yeah,
right.
Because what are you doing? Are you contributing?
Right.
And the way you contribute is doing what they ask you to do because they're just asking you. Whereas if you were to pay mortgage or rent, you'd be paying $1,000 something, right? So what is it to wash the dishes, right? 10 something an hour to be a dishwasher or $12 an hour to be a dishwasher. How long does it take you to wash your family's dishes if they ask you to do it? Right? 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes.
That's not even $10.
Right.
So, I don't want to do it. But, man, if you're living by yourself, who's going to do it? So think of it that way. You're blessed that your parents let you live in this house. Because on the mainland, it's different, right? You get a certain age, your parents try to kick you out of the house.
Or even they want out too. Right?
Yeah, right? And then you're by yourself, and then you realize, like, oh my God, I don't have food. I got to go to the grocery store. I got to do this. I got to do this by myself. So you got to see it as a blessing, you know? And if you don't like it, then you better start trying to improve your job situation, your money situation so you can move out. But you're going to learn the hard way how hard it is to live by yourself. You know, it's not easy. Who's going to clean your house? Your mom's not going to do your laundry. Your mom's not going to pick up your stuff in the living room, right? Your dishes are going to pile up. Nobody's going to do it except you. So in that sense, you know, if you asked that question back on the podcast, like, oh, I hate, you know, my living in my parents' house, stuff like that. But that's a blessing, man. I mean, unless they're making you pay the full mortgage, electricity, and everything and then asking you to do chores, okay, that's a different situation. But I don't think anybody's parents really does that. Yeah. And if they are, then they should be doing chores because you're paying, right? It should be equal, you know. Like, geez, they spent their life raising you. They've spent how much dollars on you, feeding you, getting you clothes, getting you all these things. Can you imagine if we were, let's say, in Cambodia and we had no money and we had to go beg for money and we had to just do whatever possible, you know, even unthinkable things just to survive to the next day. But we live in Hawaii. Like, come on, how hard is your life? Like, I don't get it. How hard is your life? You live in a place where it's pretty much summer and spring all the time, right? Like, how hard do you have it? It is expensive, but you have a place. You're an island where people have this thing.
I think not even living on the island too, like living in America.
Yeah.
I mean, just like living on the street.
Okay, but still,
like
you know, even in America, we're Asian.
Right. No, I mean, I'm just saying to people are not taking the perspective.
Oh,
of, like,
you
living in a country that like allows you to do certain things versus like we're not in a third world country, like
where
you know?
the government is constantly like, I don't care if you have no money, you're gonna still give us something, you know. Like, I don't care about you.
Like just in general, to be grateful that you are living in a you know, the United States and stuff like that. Right. You know, and then
it
comes even down to perspective.
Even inside of America, we live in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And we have this special thing called the Aloha Spirit. Right? Not everybody has it, but it's there. And when you see it, It's the most beautiful thing in the world. And it's just exactly what I've been talking about, gratitude. That's what it is. You treat everybody like they're your friend or your family. You know, that's the secret. Because we're all one. Why not? What do you have to lose if you treated somebody like they were your friend? What do you have to lose? But you have to gain someone who likes you. Someone who is like, wow, you're a really cool dude. Like, what is that about? And then maybe that person, you just changed his life into thinking, hey, people like that exist. You know, this world isn't as bad as I thought. Right?
Right.
But like my post the other night was about, I'm just trying to stem cell research.
Yeah, stem cell.
Are you familiar with that? Do you know how it works?
A little bit, but yeah, just run it through.
It's kind of spiritual if you think about it. So they introduce good cells into these bunch of bad cells.
Right.
And the influence that the good cells have on these bad cells, the bad cells start turning good.
Interesting.
That is one of the theories behind of what I've read about stem cell. And that's why they say it works, because eventually it starts spreading and all the cells start becoming good. So the ripple in the pond, I always say that, you know, it doesn't matter. A little pebble you throw into that water, that ripple, even though you don't see it eventually, it still runs across the whole pond.
Yeah.
Even as small as you think that is, it affected the whole pond, right? So what I'm trying to do is just make at least people who will listen, people who will want to believe this, to act on it. Because one day my daughters will fall. One day my daughters will need help. And maybe it was somebody who I reached. Maybe it was somebody who heard something I said, who actually took that gratitude part and is now thanking everybody, doing stuff for people, helping people, which in turn did that for other people. And they see my daughter on the ground. Get up. It's okay. You can do it. Don't give up. It's okay. You know? That's what I need. I need to know that my daughters are going to be safe. That there's going to be someone out there who will pick them up, because I can't be with them all the time.
Right.
You know? So maybe it just so happens, maybe I might not ever know. Or maybe the person might tell my daughter, you know, the reason why I did this was because I met this guy, Davin, and he talked about this. And it really resonated inside of me. And it made me want to do it. And that's why I did this. Oh, Davin's my dad. Oh my God. Like his seed that he planted turned into this huge tree that saved my life. Yeah. You know, I mean, who knows? I don't know. But that's what I like to think, whether it's true or not. Perspective, right?
Yeah.
It's perspective.
It's all about perspective, I think.
So that's why I give so much to people. I'm not bragging about it. I'm not like glorifying it, but I do. And I don't even like charging people for my stuff, but I need to, you know, get the store going and everything like that. But I do it because I genuinely want people to feel special. I genuinely want people to know that people who are nice, who are very grateful for you, exist in this world. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you do your stories and all this kind of stuff. I will tell you, that's awesome. That is such a great job. That is so genius. Like, you're doing something so simple, and to you might be not meaningful, but to me it's like, it's so interesting. Like, you're going to these stores and you're picking these things out. Does that mean something to you? Probably.
Yeah.
So what if me and everybody else started telling you that? You'd probably want to do it more.
Right.
Okay? But what if I told you, man, your videos suck? How badly would that affect you? Would that overpower me telling you that that's so genius? Because it's up to you. It's up to your perspective, you know?
And it's up to you to believe.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I always want you to go and choose those people that say that's genius. Because who's to say what's genius and what's not, right? Who's to say that double-clicking that like button means something or not? Because is that $1 for every like you get? No.
Yeah.
Who are you impressing? What is it going to get you?
Right.
If you were to die, what did that get you? right? Like all these internet stars falling because they're not getting as much likes. They get depressed. Then they start killing themselves because, oh no, people don't like me as much because they're basing their life off of something that doesn't exist.
Right.
Something that doesn't and shouldn't matter, because all that matters is you're happy with yourself, right? You feel you're beautiful. You feel like you matter because you do, right? You're supposed to think you're good looking. You're supposed to think that there's somebody out there who thinks that you're handsome.
Right.
You're supposed to. And I don't ever want you to think like, and I'm not that good looking. Because up to whose standards and who cares, right?
Up to whose standards.
What if we lived on a planet where everybody was bald? And right? And everybody who was bald on this planet thought that everybody with hair was ugly. So let's say somebody like, I don't know, Brad Pitt or somebody, you know, Keanu Reeves went to this planet, and this whole planet thinks, this guy is ugly.
Right.
Man, no, he's not going to ever find a wife. Well, is that right or is that wrong? And what is going to make Keanu Reeves happy then, if that's the case? Right? It's not going to be anybody else in that world, but does that matter? Because what if there was a couple of bald people who actually thought, like,
right,
I like your personality. You know, even though you have hair, that might be a little turn off, but being around you makes me so happy.
Right.
But that starts
But you got to allow yourself to have the opportunity of break too.
And that starts with your mindset. You change your mindset. I promise you. You change your mindset to never think black and white. You change your mindset to being more grateful, to being more thankful, to doing these things. You're going to start changing. You're going to start... I don't like to talk about energy and all this kind of stuff, but it's true.
Yeah, no, I feel there's always something
right?
like that.
Sometimes you get near people and you're like, ugh. You know, like, what's this guy's problem? Right. And sometimes you go around
even
people,
just something in general, too, of like you meet somebody for the first time and for some reason you just don't click. And you just don't know why, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's just there's something in a sense like that. I get you. You
know what I mean? So if you think that way, like, man, if I can change the way I think, it changes the energy or the feelings that I project, which means that people like to be around me because they like the way they feel around me without me even saying anything.
I think so too. I guess in general, to wrap things up would be like, you know, if you allow yourself to be positive and give, like we talk about in terms of energy, if you give off that energy, then more positive energy will come with you in that sense. But if you give off a negative energy and always be negative, that is what you're going to find too.
Right.
Is always a negative energy.
And it goes back.
It just goes back to that.
You always find that darkness if you look for it.
If you look for it.
But you make those bright spots the brightest spot you can ever see, because that's the kind of spots you need to put into your bubble of your life.
Right.
You know? So, I guess for you, it's really interesting because you have such a... Well, you had... I see it kind of changing a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
But from our first podcast, I feel like you were very much black and white. You know, it's like these people and then there's these people. But if I do this, then these people are affected. No, it's not like that, right? So for you, I want you to think this. Every time you do a story, every time you do a stream, I want you to know that I think it's genius. And I want you to know that I enjoy watching it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No, yeah. Honestly speaking, like, you're an interesting guy. Like, I like talking to you. We can talk forever, right?
I feel that, you know, and I like I have to wrap this up even though...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though this was only a test run thing.
I know.
I feel you. That's why I want to continue the project.
Yeah,
you know?
but I want you to know that to me, in my life, you do matter. Look at all the questions I ask you, right? Like... Right. I own a company, but in my mind, I'm just an ordinary person.
I feel the same way.
In my mind, you are very knowledgeable about all of this stuff that I'm having roadblocks about. And I just need to ask you the right questions and you're going to tell me the answer. Right. So in my bubble...
Well, it's not to say, I mean, I learn a lot from you too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like bouncing back, back and
yeah.
forth with you, like it makes things a lot clearer too in terms
That's good. That's really cool because yes, in my world, in my bubble, you matter. Next to my chest of gratitude, you're sitting there. You know, you're doing something, and I'm like, this guy is brilliant, man. You're doing something else. I'm like, oh, wow, that's pretty crazy. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, that comes with like I just want to do things for myself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You know, so
it's only for me in a sense.
It is.
Right.
It is. But for you to put it out there,
that's the hard part that people struggle with.
I'm looking at it and I'm saying, I like that.
Right.
That's awesome. That is really cool. You know, it's unfortunate that I don't get to check my Instagram and social media every day. And a lot of times it's like 3:00 in the morning when I finally get to it.
Yeah.
So I cannot go through everybody's stuff. But I do once in a while click on your profile stuff and I look at your past stuff. And, you know, sometimes I'm so tired I forget to like double click it. But I see it.
Like, you know. Yeah.
I see it and I like it. I do.
Right.
I mean, your sticker thing and like I like it all.
Right.
I do. It's entertaining. And well, yeah, you know, so of all the people that tell you it's stupid, you have me to tell you I like it.
Right.
It's entertaining. I look forward to it.
That's not more so people say that. It's just.
Well, I mean, let's just say,
right.
You know.
I think just if you're just saying in general of reason why people don't put stuff out there is because they're afraid of things like that. You know what I mean?
To tell you the truth, I can't really think of anything that I really don't like except for people who are trying to be arrogant.
I feel, yeah.
Yeah, like I like to look at.
And that's why you were worried about the post like you did the other day too, right? It's like you don't want to come off that way either.
Right. Like look at me, look what I did.
Exactly.
I'm such a good person. I don't ever want to tell somebody I'm a good person.
Yeah,
because that's not for me to tell you. It's for you to decide, and whether you think so or not, that's up to you.
Right.
But in my world, if you think I'm a good person, then come in. If you think I'm not a good person, then that's cool because I'm doing my thing. And I'm doing what makes me happy, which is trying to help people, which is trying to help people realize how to win the game of life.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah, like, everything you do, I have to tell you, I've never saw one thing where I'm like, that's so stupid. I've never thought that about anything you've ever put out there. So, I mean,
to have that kind of thought, you know what I mean, in terms of, like, when you look at something and you'll be like, that's dumb or something. Like, who are you to judge?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, right. Like, to me, I mean, I don't know how to play Magic the Gathering
none of
or
our opinions technically matter.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
In general.
Unless you let it. You know, yeah. And that's your perception of it, you know?
Yeah.
You could drive a Mercedes and people would say, man, that's such an ugly ass car.
Exactly. No, I feel it. Right. Yeah, like that too.
Not everybody's going to like it.
Not everyone's a fan of it.
But some people are like, oh my God, that is so nice.
Right.
Wow. Makes you feel good, you know? So what outweighs what?
That's
if you like the Mercedes, you look for the people that say, well, it's a nice car. You ignore the people who say it's
ignore the people, right, exactly.
But you go based off of what you want, not what people want.
Not what people, or what you think people would want.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know, like, you could do, like, a damn story about you just driving here to home. And I would watch it and I'd be like, I know you'd probably put some kind of twist.
Story on drive.
Yeah. Well, you know, just an example. Let's say you had like some kind of camera thing that automatically did it.
I used to stream live while driving. That's dangerous, man. That's dangerous. Don't want to do that.
But let's just say that happened. You know, I know that you'd put your own twist on it, which is what interests me.
Right.
It's not the content you put out; it's your twist on the content you put out.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
the same person could be going to these thrift stores looking for these games and stuff like that, and I wouldn't give a crap. It's like, okay. I mean, I don't think it's bad, but yeah.
But it's because you're invested in me or the
because
person
I know
that's presenting it.
How you like. I don't know how you think, but I have an idea, and I like it.
Yeah, because you have more investment in me than someone else per se, someone new. That's why. So it interests you in that sense.
Yeah.
Right. So I get you.
Yeah. Let's say the person was very passionate about what they were doing.
I think so, and then
I think I'd be more. Yeah,
right.
I think I'd be more inclined to like their stuff. Like, I want to see what you're getting all excited about now. Like,
I feel you.
Oh my God, double rainbow! Right? To that
right.
guy, it was like seeing Jesus or something, right?
Yeah.
To us, it's like,
It's double rainbow.
It happens.
Right.
What are you doing?
Right.
But look how happy he was. And who's to say that, what? You're stupid.
Right.
Because in his mind, he saw something that was a miracle. In his mind. So that's all that matters. That he made himself so happy. He made that video. And fortunately, it went viral. Because even though you thought he was stupid, you could feel his emotion. So what is it in this
and
life?
He wasn't doing it to try to get viral too.
Yeah, exactly,
That's
right?
like the key too, right?
Yeah.
So he wasn't doing it to find sort of a gratification.
Right. Like, let me see what video will work.
Right.
It was
and I think that's where,
genuinely, oh my God, I'm witnessing a miracle.
And it just so happened a lot of people resonated and felt the same way. And I think that's comes with a lot of reasons why when we make content and make stuff or or just do projects in general, it's like you should do it for you. And like, you know what I mean? Like the reason why you want to do it, like why do you want to do it? Do it for you.
Right.
Don't do it for like other people because it'll come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right? Like
you'll find people that have the same interests.
Yeah. Exactly.
I believe so.
And if you can make yourself that excited about a double rainbow, what else can you make yourself that excited about? Right? Being alive, because we take that for granted. Having parents still alive, we take that for granted. We don't have some kind of serious ailment where we're gonna die, or the doctors say we only have so much to live. We don't have that right now, right? We have all these things that we take for granted, but all those things should be your double rainbow.
Yeah.
As minuscule as you think it is, it hurts to be sick, right? I mean, you have cancer. What I saw my dad go through it hurts, and it sucks. They gotta put tubes down your throat, and you gotta do this and catheters, and it's terrible. But we're not going through it. So double rainbow. Thank God that I'm healthy. Thank God my daughters are healthy. My mom is still here. My sister is healthy. My wife is healthy, because we take that for granted all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, just back to it again. It's just perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel that.
But we should wrap this up. I know
man.
you gotta get going, because we can make this stretch out to like 11 tonight.
It's gonna be a challenge figuring out how to wrap it up every time we talk. I think.
I know. Like I think we just gotta abruptly
there was so much times where I'm like, okay, this is a good note to end it on, and it's like, oh, let's keep going.
Because just stuff just keep. And it's like, oh man, I just gotta say this, and then it's turning into this.
This whole different thing, but no, this is a good test run, I'll maybe clip some stuff and maybe I don't know, put up the whole episode or something. We'll see, but this was a good test run to see. I gotta test out how the audio is and everything like that too,
I think you should take the clips that were meaningful to you and post it.
Definitely.
Because I think, I would want you to be associated with changing people's lives.
Yeah, I mean, if it does, it's more so if it does happen, it does happen.
I'm
not trying to pose my own opinions.
But you do look for the people that say thank you so much for that.
Right.
You look for that. Right. If it doesn't happen, it's okay, because I still think that. So you do have one person that still does think that. Thank you for that. Thank you for posting that. That was awesome.
Right.
You have me, and that's all that should matter, is those people that like what you're doing. And now you're gonna be actually using your popularity, or I know you don't think you're as popular as you think.
I'm you can.